All right, what's up, guys? Welcome back. Aldo here. Wanted to give you an update on what I've been doing lately and why I think U.S. debt ceiling is they're about to pass it in the Senate. Could be kind of a sell the news type thing. We'll talk about that as well. Going to go over Bitcoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin dominance, um, and Nvidia, I believe, today as well. Got some interesting stuff to show you guys on the charts, so stay tuned. If you enjoyed the content, leave a like. This is the last trade I did a little Bitcoin long this morning right here. Hit first take profit, then got stopped out in profit. This was a trade in the exclusive Discord. We've been doing really well. Two new analysts, if you guys aren't already aware, Crypto Bullzone and Atlantic Core, both of these guys are professionals. They are excellent. Keep in mind, guys, never financial advice. We're not going to be right 100% of the time. We'd all be billionaires by now if we were, probably in a matter of months. But it is a really good community. A lot of people are really liking it. So check it out in the description below if you guys are interested. We really put a lot of effort into this. So, yeah, let's get into the analysis right here. Right now on CNBC, talking about Senate preparing to vote on the debt ceiling within hours. Once that's passed, I believe it goes to the president signs it, and then, that's pretty much it. It gets passed. That could be kind of a sell the news type thing. If you look at what happened in 2011, the last time they came, real close to defaulting on the debt, then they passed it, it came down. It shows theoretically, it shows a weakening of the American economy. What is it? They can't agree. It just shows the weakening of the American economy. In a lot of ways, it would make, traditional markets at least come down. Bitcoin did crash as well in 2011 when it was, if you actually followed Bitcoin back in 2011, you probably wouldn't be watching this. You're probably a multimillionaire. But anyway, I mean, that's kind of what we're looking at, potentially kind of a sell news. The first thing that I'm looking at here, obviously the weekly, the 2 week, still printing, the 2 week here, still printing the red dot, similar kind of to 2019 back here, that accumulation year. So that's what I'm thinking. Most likely, I'm thinking, like, if I had to guess right here, double bottom is my main, kind of trajectory for where I think price could bottom out. I'm more in the camp that you probably hit the bottom here. If things get really crazy, sure, anything could happen. The next place after that is around 13K. But right now, I think ultimately, if I had to really guess here, I think it's going to be somewhat of a double bottom, somewhere a bit sub 20K in my opinion. But we'll see. That's to be seen. Doesn't really affect my strategy. I follow a strategy here. And price, it's more about money flow and other things where I DCA into Bitcoin and ETH and altcoins, not exactly based on price. So, yeah, let's get into the more short-term analysis here. The first thing I want to show you guys is going to be the 2-day. Money flow coming out, VWAP coming down. It's about as bearish as it gets. I mean, the last time we saw money flow with that curvature and the VWAP coming down, I believe is right around here, unless we saw, not with the VWAP, definitely not with the VWAP and the money flow, this above the zero line. The last time was really like right here. Obviously, this was a complete nightmare, that started an entire renaissance cascade of bad things. But if you just repeat that trajectory, that's around 17, 18K, which is going to be, I believe, if that happens, Bitcoin dominance is probably going to skyrocket. Altcoins are going to get decimated. Some of them may probably make lower lows once you lose, 20K, and then that's probably the place to start getting into altcoins. Talk about more about that in a minute or two, but yeah. So what we're looking at right there, I think ultimately I have a lot of stuff drawn out here. What we could do too, oh yeah, the other thing I wanted to show you guys is shout out to Piano Matty from BitBoy Crypto. He was telling me about potentially we could form. So our first technical target out of this head, the higher head and shoulders over here I drew, is going to be down here, around 23 or something. And then the bigger head and shoulders that we could form, we come down to here, bounce around 22 for a few months into the summer. That's going to be an apathetic place. You're seeing a lot of people tune out. You're going to see more freaking people tuning out, as we get into just bouncing around 22K or something, you know what I mean? And then, you form maybe another head and shoulders here, you rally back to 26 or something. Then once you finally break down towards the end of summer or later this year, there's a technical target at around, 16. That would be a beautiful double bottom. I could absolutely see that being kind of the bottom. You probably would hit that September, October. That's going to be a golden opportunity to get into Bitcoin. Probably, most likely the last chance to get into Bitcoin at these levels, and probably a better place to buy altcoins than down here. A lot of them may make lower lows by that point. And even if they don't, Bitcoin probably outperformed them throughout this amount of time. So what I'm planning on doing is trying to convert a lot of my Bitcoin into Ethereum and altcoins when we do, come down. It's all DCA strategy unless you're kind of trading. There's two different things. I do long term, I do short term as well. Those are two very different things. Long term is more DCAing, short term is a little bit different. So we get into lower time frames here. What I want to show you guys is, this volume area low right here. We bounced around it a bunch of times. Your 200 weekly moving averages right here had a nice double bottom on it. You hit this guy so many times. It feels like price, here may be the breakout, especially with the debt ceiling about to pass, that sell the news type thing. Potentially, that could be the breakout. Money flow coming down on your 4 hour as well. Your 3 hour money flow coming out as well. We broke below this. Now we're kind of, fighting back a little bit here, fighting back a little bit above, your volume area low right there. But, I don't know, triple bottom, maybe that's it. Maybe you just come up a good amount here, or maybe you finally roll over. So that's what I'm looking at right now. But, if you just look at these low time frames, that's a nice drop, wick down and right back up. So that could be potentially, a long opportunity, but be careful, with the debt ceiling and all that, be careful, because ultimately I don't like what I'm seeing at the 2 day at all. Last thing I wanted to show you here, daily, we confirmed a trigger wave and you get a red X after it. Look right there with that trigger wave red X. Let's just map that out where that would, bring us to if we repeated, kind of that right around this pocket, which I think is huge. And we know, guys, there's going to be a ton of liquidation points right around this area. That's probably, you liquidate a bunch of people, then you finally have a little bit of recovery after that. I think you may hit that within the next couple of weeks, potentially. Could be wrong, don't know. But I think there's a good shot at hitting that within the next few weeks. Moving on to Ethereum now. So, Ethereum, a lot of it is obviously the same as Bitcoin. In the short term, the 90-minute money flow coming out right here. The point of control we have, if you look here from this area and this head and shoulder, this area we've been ranging in is around 1818. I think the probability is very high that you would hit that, especially with how the 2 day looks. You're about to get a trigger wave there. The daily, red dot. And then a lot of these time frames, money flow is starting to come out here. 4 hour money flow coming down, 3 hour coming down with the RSIs as well. So I think, you could bounce around, but I think most likely you're going to see this area and maybe even lower pretty soon. Now, also, you do have the head and shoulders there. That's still the breakout. The main neckline, it's a little bit subjective. The main neckline is probably around here. I think you could, Bitcoin shooting down to 24. I think this could shoot down. This could start to bleed against Bitcoin. I don't know exactly where you would end up, but I think you would at least end up around the volume area low, this fib level, this pocket, 1744. If you break below that pocket, your technical target is going to be, breaking out of this parallel channel around 15 something, which could be next significant place. Bitcoin down to 24. I don't know if this would go down to 15, but we'll see. We'll absolutely have to see here. But that's what I'm looking at right now. Ultimately, the main thing on the 2 week money flow coming out, red dot right there, similar level to where we had it over here in July of 19. So, look what happened there. Many months of red, which I think could potentially happen here. You get 11K, 1100, 1000, maybe even make a lower low. Those are good places. Those are good places, I think, long term to get into Ethereum. What I'm going to be doing, starting to DCA in on the 12 day coming into the red. I'm hoping for something like this. This is really what I'm looking for, guys. That area, and then let's, and then let's estimate, say you go in there in July, July to April, August to April, 8-month period of DCAing in. I think that's going to be perfect, and I think that's when you're going to see the peak apathy. Probably summer, within the next month or two, peak apathy until probably that 8-month period, until early to mid 2024, that peak, like people just not caring. That's when you need to be buying, when people don't care as much, because look at YouTube views. A lot of channels have gotten a lot less views. I'm excited, we're in that place, as long as you got, and a lot of times as we go into the recession potentially, this is when people don't have money to put in. That's what problem. Usually, people don't have too much more money to put in. A lot of people may have, still have a lot of money that they put in to altcoins stuff back in, 2021 or 2022 when we were high. And then, a lot of times you're kind of forced to sell because you have to sell. It's not that you want to sell, you have to sell, or you just get so you just stopped caring so much. So you were just like, yeah, this is completely dead. I've been waiting so long. Then you sell. Who do you sell to? Probably people like me. And then it goes, you know what I mean? That's normally what happens. So keep that in mind. Money flow generally coming out here, like I mentioned. So Ethereum, short term coming down. I do have some swing trade setups for Bitcoin and Ethereum in the Discord. I mean, nothing's going to be right 100% of the time, but they have some good probabilities of winning. If you're interested, link down below. By the way, guys, if you want one free month of the exclusive Discord, the premium Discord, I should say, sign up to either FAIRDESK or MEXC if you're an experienced trader and deposit at least $200 on either of those platforms. And then DM me or tag me in the free Discord. And the free Discord, one of the channels, with your UID, and I will get you sorted. We'll give you one free month in Discord. I think you're going to like it, so check that out. And yeah, moving on here. What I want to show you guys on Bitcoin dominance here, I think this is important to keep an eye on. So look at this money flow on the weekly here. Tried to circle it, but didn't really show up. On the weekly here, back in June of 19. See right there, we're almost at essentially the same place. Look at what happened. We just shot up. Once we kind of broke out of whatever this reverse head and shoulders here, we just shot up essentially. And 24%. If you come up 24%, that's a big pocket right there. I don't know how much fib levels would mean for something like Bitcoin dominance, but that's a huge pocket. 60% is massive. That would be, if this could get to 60%, that is like a golden opportunity, I think, to get into alts. Now, don't put all your money in just one alt. Not financial advice. Don't do that. You want to spread it around. You want to buy a bunch of things with good fundamentals. It's a venture capitalism strategy. If you just want to buy just one thing, you should just buy Bitcoin and not bother with this. You know what I mean? For alts, it's more, we can't be certain. Yeah, we can't be certain just one alt is going to, be around in 5 years. You know what I mean? But we can be certain that if we buy, we diversify it and buy a bunch of them, some of them may go to zero, but a few others may do incredibly well, 20x, 30x, you name it, even more maybe. So that's what we're looking at right there. We'll talk about that more when the time comes. I think the place where I'm looking to start DCAing in, probably around mid-50s, I'm really looking for to start kind of DCAing into alts. That's really what I'm looking for. I think the odds are very, very high. We're going to break up to this area within the next few months. And I think as you really see a lot of people stop caring in this market, what are they going to be selling first? Probably altcoins. Probably all these people on Robinhood that still are holding Bitcoin, still are holding Dogecoin from a few years. They're probably going to start getting bored and getting out of that, especially as we potentially come into a recession towards the end of the year. So that's what I'm looking at right there. If we want to move on to Nvidia, I just want to look at this real quick. I mean, this is going parabolic. Look, we've seen it time and time again. I've seen it time and time again. When something is front page news, when something is being talked about so much and it's pumped up like crazy, what normally happens? We saw this with oil. We saw this with, eggs. We saw this with a lot of things. And you're about to get your bearish dip on the 2 week here. Look, I'm not saying 400 was the top, but you could easily, maybe 500, but you're getting close to the top here, I think. Everybody's talking about it. I think you're eventually going to come down. I don't have a crystal ball, though, but I think that 2 week, once this VWAP comes down, you get that bear div. I think that's probably it for this for the time being. This may follow kind of a lot of the traditional market. A lot of traditional markets may come down with this as well. So yeah, guys, that's all I got right now. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel, check out the premium Discord down below. Check out the links to the exchanges. FAIRDESK is a really good one if you don't want to use a VPN or no KYC as well. MEXC is really good for fees as well, so check those out if you're an experienced trader, that is. And yeah, guys, have a good one. Goodbye.